We met on Clubhouse about 5 years ago, and he's a mortgage lender. I think he does real estate too out in Philadelphia area. And floor is yours, Joe. Go and introduce yourself and go from there.
Thanks, Steve. Joe Scorese, director at Lendmark Capital, a nationwide asset-based lender. So thanks for inviting me on here this evening.
Yeah, it goes. We go way back to Clubhouse. We had rooms and stuff in the mornings and seeing each other on there and stuff. And we're some back in the days. But you ready for on the spot?
In regards to what?
You ready for the questions?
Oh, yeah. So what are my thoughts on the market as we were talking about it? Yes. So I apologize. I mean, right now, West Coast and East Coast are definitely two different, way of looking at properties. But I think overall, you're going to see days on the market increasing, some values dropping. But I think there's still some opportunities out there. When there's chaos, there's opportunities. So, some short-term to long-term predictions. I think we're going to be in a very back and forth market for the rest of this year. You're not going to see any big drops or any big gains, but I think maybe in 26 we might see some things loosen up rate wise. Rates are gradually coming down, but inventory is still not good. Days on the market's not good. Consumer sentiment's a little rough. The investors are smelling blood on the streets. So everybody's coming off the sidelines as an investor right now.
So investors mean investors are pulling out or trying to looking for things.
No, they're trying to take advantage of the opportunity. I see them holding more properties, flipping is quieting down, and I see the opportunity to burr more than ever. Quite ironic, my podcast is named the Creative Burr Strategy Podcast, and there's more people trying to burr right now than ever before. Now, there's some markets where you might be able to pull off a flip here and there, but overall, it's a whole pattern market.
Yeah. Let me ask you this questions. You want to share a quote?
A quote?
Yeah.
Well, you know what you know, and you know what you don't know. I learn probably a whole new thing every day dealing with one client or another. Nothing surprises me anymore. So that would be a quote. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know.
How about a struggle? I'm going to show a struggle you went through in business or in life.
Well, life, I'm a stroke survivor as of May 15th, 2019.
Oh, wow.
And I've been very consistent in good health and good way of living since then. So I've been monitoring my weight, my health, my blood pressure, going to the gym every day. So that was what helped me turn around my business, where I feel like I've been more successful in the last 6 years than the previous 10 combined.
Wow. Okay. That's good. What's a mistake you did in real estate that you regret you did?
I probably didn't get into asset-based lending soon enough. I've been in it about a decade. I wish I got in a little sooner than a decade. I would have been able to take advantage of some opportunities that I was not aware of because I was in regional banking. But I'm here now, and there's no way I can go back. So I just got to look forward.
Joe, what are you watching nowadays on TV as far as TV show, Netflix or Apple TV? What are you watching?
You know
What's out
what?
there?
I'm old school.
Yeah.
I love my Big Bang Theory, my Two and a Half Men, MASH. I can't get caught up with any of the new stuff.
Yeah.
I binge on old stuff, Sopranos, that kind of stuff. I enjoy that stuff. I mean, there's one show I enjoyed for a minute. I'm waiting for season 3, Night Agent, which was pretty cool.
All right, cool. So what's your walk-up theme song, Joe? We come out to.
I do enjoy the Hall of Fame song, the underdog song between Script and will.i.am. I always enjoyed that song. When it gets on, it gets me pretty pumped up and gets me rocking. I go to the gym every morning, so I try to get some motivational music. I'll throw my Journey on there, throw my Boston, but that Hall of Fame song gets me going.
Gotcha. Cool. So let me ask you this: you're a little bit of sports. Who's on your baseball Mount Rushmore of players? I don't know if you go Phillies or you want to go.
No.
Who you like?
I just live in Philadelphia. I'm a
Okay.
victim of love. So I'm a New York Yankee fan.
Okay.
So on my Mount Rushmore to be definitely Reggie Jackson, Jeter, DiMaggio, Mantle, all the classics.
Okay.
Those would be my Mount Rushmore.
Okay. So who's your GOAT of all Yankees? Who do you have?
You know what? I'm old enough to be at the 1977 World Series when I saw Reggie Jackson hit the 3 homers out, Mr. October.
Yeah.
So that's still, I don't think anybody could surpass that in the World Series. Maybe Bobby Mercer, but that was a little earlier on. But Mercer was the home run king back in the early 70s.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you this. What's something you did in the pandemic that you didn't do before that you still do today that you picked up?
The podcasting.
Okay.
Clubhouse found me. I found Clubhouse. Obviously, there was a lot of drama on there, depending on who you kind of associated with. But I somehow got unscathed and have my own little room there and good following. People have either fired themselves or been let go of that podcast over time
Yeah.
based on egos and
Yeah. Yeah.
insanity and everything else. So the podcast, we're now celebrating on the official podcast over 110 podcasts on the Creative
Okay.
Birth Strategy podcast. I've done hundreds, but recorded on my website at this point, 110
Okay.
plus.
Are you on YouTube or Spotify?
What's that?
Are you on YouTube or Spotify? Any of those links? Any of those?
YouTube, Spotify,
Okay.
TikTok, Audible, Amazon, name all of them,
Got
they
it.
were all there. It's all on my
Okay.
website.
Cool. All right. Let me ask you this: what is your dream car? And then, what are your thoughts on the EV car?
Well, my dream car is one that runs good and well.
Okay.
I'm not really caught up on the fashion of getting into imaginary cars. I would say I'm a little cheap, so I like economical, cost-effective cars.
Yeah.
I have a Honda, I have a VW. They go hundreds of thousands of miles. I've never been
Yeah.
caught up in the glamour of a fancy car.
Okay.
I mean, the fancy car that I would ever want, to me, a cool car would be a Jeep, convertible Jeep. But that's about it. But
Okay.
I'm not really a big fan of EV cars. That's not happening in my lifetime. I'll stick with gas.
Okay. Cool. If you go back in time, what age would you pick to go back and live at?
A time where I would have been able to meet my wife,
Yeah.
earlier maybe, just to have more time with her.
Yeah.
She's the love of my life, so yeah, I would
Okay.
just want more time. I don't know what year that would be. It would matter what year she would want to put up with me going forward.
Are we going back to high school days?
No, I don't know if I want to do that. I think we all battle high school to the very
Yeah.
end of our lives, so I don't need to go back to high school. I've done pretty good since high school.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you this: you have a favorite field trip you did as a kid that you grew up going to?
You know, I enjoyed going to Washington D.C. and walking around. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Got to go to Europe a couple of years in a row during high
Oh
school as
wow.
well. That was a lot of fun during Easter, getting to know
Okay.
people outside my circle. Gave me a lot of confidence meeting people that I had never really associated with before throughout the country. So that a couple combination of things.
Okay. Cool. Cool. What generation are you? I'm guessing baby boomer, or are we
Well, I'm
going
born in 1969, so that would
Gen
be
X? Gen
Gen
X.
X.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on technology with ChatGPT? We got AI and kids nowadays getting it like second, first grade. What do you think about all that together back where you had it?
Well, they still need transactional experience, and if they don't have that and they're just using AI for everything, they're
Hmm.
not going to create a depth chart in experience. So, like, to me, a lot of the blogs and the articles that I put together are based on past endeavors, whether pros or
Yeah.
cons. Someone that just goes to that doesn't have any pros or cons to bounce off of. So, there's not going to be a lot of depth to the next generation because they have nothing to work forward from.
Yeah.
Um, I come from an era where we didn't have a cell phone or didn't have the internet and didn't have a pager. We had the phone in the kitchen where mom answered the phone for us. So it was a much different environment to where we are now. I mean, I apply it all the time now because I leverage it as a tool based on
Hmm.
my transactional experience. So it's worked out very well for me with my Google team and my social media administrator and my podcast and my business as well.
Cool. Cool. That's good. Do you got a movie you recently saw that you liked that was good or bad?
Notice with Vince Vaughn. It was about a bunch of Italian grandmothers cooking and his dream of opening a restaurant. It was loosely based on a restaurant in Staten Island, but it
Okay.
was the background and everything was used in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which was near where I grew up, and I actually used the restaurant that I used to go to when it was open at one time
Oh wow.
as the restaurant example. So it was very a little bit for me because I've lost some good friends. I used to have a lot of good meals there and had fun going to that restaurant.
Okay. Cool. That's a good one. I gotta check it out. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll check it out. Are you an Apple or Android guy?
Apple.
Yeah. So when you see
Yeah, I
the
wouldn't even know
green,
what to do with an
yep.
Android.
So you see the green bubbles. What do you think of?
What's
They
that?
pop up when you see the green bubbles on your phone. What do you think of when they pop up?
I don't pay attention. I just do my thing.
No.
I don't get caught up with the small stuff. No, I try to limit my distractions.
Gotcha. Okay. Uh, you want to share a tip of the week? Life tip, business tip, success tip?
Take care of your health. Everything else is
Yeah.
pretty easy after that. Breathing is the number one reason you keep going. Winning is number
Hmm.
two, of course, but
Yeah.
you got to be consistent with your health.
Yeah. I think so too. Exercise and being active, something. Yeah. I think just being on the couch a lot. You can, we're not doing stuff. think wears on people.
Absolutely. I used to be tall and good looking like you, but then I had to, things happen, and I just I had to start really focusing on my health once I got down to my height at 5'7". You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me ask you this: if you could sit down and eat with someone dead or alive, who would it be?
With my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
Yeah. That's
She's been
cool.
gone about 3 years, but she was my rock.
Yeah. Are both your parents? Is your dad still alive, or is he?
No, no. I mean, he'd
Yeah.
be the second one, but and then my
Yeah.
uncle Vito. So we'd go in
Yeah.
line, and then my uncle Pat. I'd have a couple uncles that thrown in there.
Yeah.
Maybe an Uncle Tony. You know what I mean? Like I got all the Italian names that were
Yeah.
around the circle.
So what's a good pizza spot to go get pizza at
Well,
for
I
you?
mean, if you're gonna go old school and
Yeah.
North Jersey, there's. I mean, I'm in Philly. There's a lot of claims that pizza's pretty good. I like if I was gonna have. I don't eat bread anymore, but if I was gonna
Hmm.
have pizza, it'd be either
Yeah.
Lorenzo's or La Rosa. I
Hmm.
like them. One's different than the other. One's more flat Sicilian style. The other one's boardwalk style. I don't get caught
Hmm.
up with the original. Hey, one bite, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that. I just know if it's thin, well done, we're in the right direction.
Gotcha. Cool.
The original pizzeria that I enjoyed the most is no longer with us because my
Yeah.
close friend who owned it passed away, but it was called Mimi's in Roselle
Hmm.
Park. Thin, well done,
Okay.
best pepperoni pie ever.
Let me ask you this: what about if you're stuck in an elevator? Who do you want to be stuck in an elevator with?
My wife.
Should get you out of there.
What's that?
Is she gonna save the day? She'll get you
She
out of
she
the
would save the
elevator.
day. She'd allow me to force myself to get the hell out of there. So yeah.
Favorite sportsman player?
Well, I always loved the Yankees. I was a season
Yeah.
ticket holder for the Yankees as well in the old
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium,
Okay.
out in the bleacher creatures. Used to love
Okay.
watching Jeter, love watching Bernie and
Yeah.
Posada and Mariano Rivera. So that whole team was just awesome
Yeah.
just to watch and be part of.
So you saw Paul O'Neill play, right? Paul O'Neill.
Paul O'Neill, yeah,
Yeah.
man, that was good stuff. I enjoyed that
Yeah.
entire run. I was part of that
Yeah.
run as a season ticket holder.
Nice. So you have some memories of the New York old stadium, right?
Oh
The
yeah,
old, the
old
old.
school man. Go to stands for a beer, maybe two
Uh-huh.
or three and four,
Yeah.
and then take the Yankee Clipper back to Weehawken and then drive home and be all sobered up.
Nice.
Absolutely,
Let me ask you this: did you ever watch wrestling as a kid? And you have a favorite wrestler growing up?
absolutely.
Yeah.
George the Animal Steel, my favorite wrestler, man. You
Okay.
got it. Had a green tongue, the whole thing. The best. Got to
Yeah.
meet him before he passed.
Yeah. He had the
Great
hairy
guy, very
back, right?
intelligent man. What's that?
He had the hairy back, right?
He was a big hairy dude, man, but he was
Yeah.
a very smart guy when you talk to him. He was actually a teacher.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. What advice would you give yourself at 12 years old?
Don't eat any crap and stay healthy. And actually, I would have went more into a Votech type of environment,
Okay.
nutrition, plumber,
Really?
HVAC. If you did well with that, you don't go poor,
Hmm.
ever. Not a GC, the mechanicals.
Yeah.
Mechanicals are where the money was at.
Let me ask you this: how long have you been a homeowner for, and what do you like
My
about the
whole
city you
life,
live in?
basically,
Yeah.
since basically I graduated college, I've had a property or another.
Yeah. So what do you like about the city you live in now?
I live right outside of Philadelphia in Turnersville,
Hmm.
New Jersey, about 30 minutes out, 45, 50 minutes to the beach. I like salt air.
Okay. So you like that seawater kind of or smell? Right? Gotcha. If you weren't doing your current job, what would you be doing for work? You think? If you weren't realistic, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be running a restaurant.
Pizza restaurant?
Probably like a pizzeria restaurant.
Yeah.
I can cook. I have a culinary background, so I can
Yeah.
cook. I could throw it down. I ain't the best. Like, I just went to this place called Wild Fork to go buy exotic meats like
Hmm.
tomahawk ribeye, and alligator, and bison, and venison. So I love cooking all that stuff up. Kangaroo, bear. We go to town with different type of meals that we cook up. So I would
Cool.
enjoy that a lot.
Do you have a favorite video game or board game growing up that you played as a kid?
My goodness, Atari,
Yeah.
Pac-Man. I don't know.
Did you play Frogger
I
or Pong?
n- no, I think my wife enjoyed Galaga, and that was
Okay.
kind of cool.
I
That
remember
was
that
a
one.
kind of
Yeah.
a cool game. It's something I remember, but that was one of her
Mm.
favorite games that she was very good at. She grew up
Okay.
along the Jersey Shore at the beach in Atlantic
Okay.
City, so she was always
Uh,
at one arcade or another. So we have some relevancies on favorite arcade game.
nice. Okay. Let me ask you this: what's your drink of choice?
Many.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
maybe like a mimosa,
Okay.
uh, like something where I know I'm going to be by the shore. Pina
Yeah.
colada, good strawberry
Okay.
daiquiri, something really nice.
Yeah. You got a guilty pleasure? You want to share with us?
I mean, at this point in my life, I don't eat bread, no pasta, no rice, no potatoes.
Oh
So
wow.
maybe a good
So no
piece of
carbs.
good piece of fudge, maybe. That'd
Yeah.
be
So no carbs, huh?
nah, man.
Yeah. Cut them out. Gotcha. Yeah. It's probably good. You gotta just gotta cut
I
back on
feel
some
great.
things.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to know how to go back.
What's your favorite emoji? Do you have one?
Yeah, laughing face, crying, laughing.
Gotcha. Nominate someone that'd be good to be on the show. I could reach out to. I was
You
trying to
know,
reach out to maybe
maybe it
Anthony,
would be
but
either a good colleague of mine, Eric Moss from
okay,
MB Capital Solutions, who
okay,
sponsors my podcast, or
all
maybe
right,
Linda Pelagas from Realty 411, who's out on the
okay,
West Coast with you.
okay,
Yeah, probably those two I would make an introduction. I'm going to introduce you
okay,
to a client of mine that was trying to buy some stuff out in the area, which you
yeah,
gave me a quick reminder. I forgot about that.
yeah,
So I'll make
yeah,
some introductions for you.
yeah. Thanks, Dad. I'll reach out to him and see if we get on here and set it up. That'd be good. And then what's something on the bucket list?
Well, we're going to hopefully accomplish one of them. We're going to go to Italy at least for a
Okay,
couple of weeks in the new year,
yeah,
around Easter time. My wife and I, and try to. I really want to go like down along from Albania all the way down to Greece along that
uh-huh.
coast.
Okay,
You know, all that beautiful area. It's unbelievable. It's breathtaking. I
mhm,
don't really have any desire to go back to my grandparents' hometown. I really just
okay,
want to see the beautiful ocean side of that part of the world.
gotcha. All right. And then how do we follow you and social media? What's your handles and get in contact with you if you want? Reach out.
Everything's Joseph V. Scarice, whether
Okay,
it's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, Alignable. Everything's Joseph V. Scarice because there's only a couple other Scarices, but I always try to stand out with the specific with my middle initial.
yeah, yeah. Vincent, gotcha. Cool. And then you got any final words you want to share with?
No, I mean, Steve, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time and remembering me from the
Yeah,
clubhouse days. I think you're still an admin on my
I probably am.
on my club. I think you would pop up
Yeah,
automatically, but you're
yeah,
West Coast. You're just waking up when I'm closing out. But
yeah,
it's amazing how a a social media tool during very trying times, very questionable times, as we know to this point,
yeah.
that's being broken down into really a lot of angry people about what happened, has kept people together and has
Yeah,
allowed people to have relationships,
yeah,
professionally or personally for that matter,
yeah, yeah,
over the last 5 or so years. And,
yeah,
the podcast helped me recover my vocabulary skills. So, from a recuperation from the stroke, I couldn't really get all my words out correctly when I first
yeah,
started the podcast, and it kind of helped break up a lot of that tightness in the muscle tissue in my vocal cords and everything, and allowed me to. It also has allowed me to listen more instead of talking. So the
yeah.
podcast and meeting people like yourself and others, it's allowed me to really listen more in my later time in my profession, which has been great.
Cool, good thoughts. Thanks for that shout out. And we are on Spotify. We're on YouTube, and then follow us on there and TikTok, all that stuff, Instagram. If you have any questions about real estate or the market, reach out to Joe or me. Got some ideas and things like that, our thoughts. Yep, I think reach out to real estate through a new lens and from on the spot right here.
Thanks, Steve, for the opportunity.
Yep. All right.